Hey golfers, I'm Drew Mahowald of Second Swing Golf out here at Quintero Golf Club, 14th tee box specifically with Marty Jertson, the VP of Fitting and Performance at PING. We got some drivers to talk about. We also will probably get into some fairway woods out there too.
Yeah.
But Marty, it's always exciting. G440 drivers, well, any PING driver really, the release at Second Swing, we're really excited about it. We get to dive into the fittings. But with G440, there's a ton of new stuff, both the look and then also under the hood. So let's kind of dive in. What should golfers know about G440 drivers?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we've been doing pretty good in the driver category.
Yes,
so we have this great foundation. You know, we've had center of gravity's low and back, really high inertia that makes the drivers more forgiving. We got turbulators, make them fly faster through the air. Got a lot of great fitting options with the trajectory tuning sleeve, the CG shifter. So 440, we expanded upon some of those staple technologies. The CarbonFly Wrap is bigger and it wraps around to the skirt section. We call it the skirt section on the driver to save more weight. So the theme of all the 440, including the driver, center of gravities are lower. So because the center of gravity is lower, we're getting more ball speed. Golfers having to fit into a little bit less loft. We've done some really cool optimization with our spin-sistency face. This is kind of a fancy word, but what it means is if you hit it low on the face, normally your spin would spike.
Yep.
We have kind of a tighter, what's called the roll radius down at the bottom. So normally when the spin goes up, we're countering that gear effect with the face. It makes the driver act like it's about 10% more forgiving than the MOI number.
Interesting.
Right? So it's kind of one of those things like golfers always like, what are the manufacturers
and that low
do?
face shot is a popular miss for golfers too. I know I struggle with it sometimes, and then you always see the ball, A, go shorter, but B, that spin goes up and it kind of flutters a little bit, and and that obviously helps with kind of eliminating that effect.
Yeah, and then you set the driver down in the address position. Some subtle changes, but they make a really big difference. The face is a little shallower from top to bottom, not as tall from top to bottom. That helps save weight a little bit and allows us to make the face thinner. So this is the thinnest face thickness we've ever made in a driver with the 440. Wow. And then underneath the hood here in the hosel section, normally we have a lot of like structure that kind of connects the hosel to the sole. On the inside, that's all freed up. So we did some fun work there to save weight. All that weight savings is concentrated in our CG shifter. So normally you'd see our CG shifter move a much larger distance. Now all these positions, the fade and the draw, they still change the ball flight the same amount. I have mine in the fade because I kind of want to eliminate the left side of the golf course. But it doesn't have to move as much. So all the positions elevates the moment of inertia or the forgiveness, and no matter what your position that you're using in the driver.
Wow, that's fantastic. And then I also want to just ask you about your setup, right? So we're kind of sort of a mini what's in the bag segment here, because we've got your G440 driver. Talk to me about what setup you have and why you have it fit that way.
Yeah, so I'm in the max head. I like playing the drivers that are a little bit bigger. LST I love, but I'm not necessarily, for my angle of attack and my delivery, I don't necessarily need to minimize the spin like some other players. Shane Bacon, my Proving Grounds co-host, he hits a little bit more down on it. So he's more gravitated toward the LST. A lot of our tour players in the LST, I'm kind of mid-spin. So, and I don't mind the head shape being a little bit larger. Actually, I'll enjoy the confidence from that a little bit, and I can play my driver a little bit longer length. So I'm in the max head. But I do some interesting things. I have it in the big minus.
Really?
Hosel position. So that takes the loft down 1.5 degrees. Also makes the driver sit from a face angle standpoint a little bit more open, which I kind of enjoy and prefer. And then I put the CG shifter in the fade position. So that's, biases the trajectory about 10 yards to the right or so. Ventus Black 6X, the new VeloCore Plus. And I play it at 45 3/4 inches. So we've seen this with a lot of our tour players. I mean, Victor Hovland's one of them that plays his driver a little bit longer length, 45 3/4 inches, because the driver head is so forgiving. You can not necessarily have to hit.
You can kind of get away with a little bit more length on the shaft. I know the stock lengths too of the shaft are actually a little bit longer this year in the drivers, I believe, right? And I think it's slight increments increase in terms of I think it's up to 46 standard now.
With our Alta CB, and CB stands for, Alta stands for high, it's our higher trajectory, and CB counterbalanced, so that's where we move the center of gravity or the weighting in the shaft closer to the hands, makes it feel lighter to you, and that's a way we can keep a relatively heavy head, a little longer length.
Got it.
And then all of our aftermarket shafts, our tour, PING tour shafts, and our no upcharge aftermarkets, 45.5.
Yep.
Now we also took a look at the whole system design overall. So in addition to go to 46 inches for the Alta, we did it without making the club heavier. We actually made the total weight. So if you put it on a scale, measure the total weight is actually down about 10 grams.
Oh wow, okay.
So took a little bit of weight from the counterbalance, a little bit of weight from the head, and we're kind of optimizing the momentum to give you that right amount of head weight to kind of maximize your ball speed.
Absolutely. Well, this is really cool because we're out here on one of the cooler golf holes really on the golf course. So this is 14th tee box. It's a long par 5. We're going to have you basically just play the hole, hit a couple tee shots. We'll see some numbers with TrackMan here, and then we'll go out there and hit a second shot, which again, we maybe get into the fairway discussion.
Yeah, no, this is an awesome par 5, like classic desert golf.
Absolutely.
Kind of hourglass shape to the fairway there, but I think hopefully there's a little more room out there.
Yeah, well, hey, you got the G440 Max, so you're gonna
find it.
Absolutely, let's see it.
Okay. Ooh, I towed it, but went dead straight.
You did, interesting, because it looks, it's a toe ball, but it didn't like dive out of the sky or didn't look like anything crazy happened. It looked like a normal bombed tee shot down the middle.
I like that. That's the one where you just kind of pose on it and pretend like you hit it good.
Yeah, I mean, it was 306 yards, so that's a pretty good toe ball if you ask me, 306 yards. Do you want to hit another one and see if you can square one up in this area, or do you want to just use that one?
Yeah, no, I like that. I would play that one.
Yeah, I mean, that shows them serious forgiveness if you hit it that far off the toe, you think.
Yeah, I could feel that I hit it on the toe, but there wasn't that much gearing. And that's what I love about playing the max head, the bigger head with a little bit more inertia.
Yeah, well, I wanted to see if I can get some more numbers here because there's, I want to talk about like height and stuff as well. Yeah, so we're on the height, it was 90 feet in the air still.
Yep.
You got 110 club speed, 160 ball speed. So I can tell you missed a little bit of the efficiency, right? Like wasn't quite center, but to still hit it 306 yards, it's pretty good, right?
Yeah. Let's give another one.
Okay,
a go.
let's do it.
Oh, I towed that one too. A little bit.
Tee went flying. It's still dead straight though.
This thing's forgetting.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Those are two what you would call miss-hit tee shots, and they're right in the middle of the fairway. This one went 315 yards.
Okay.
So you gained even another 11 yards. You still didn't quite hit it as good as you wanted. So,
I would take either of those.
Yeah, I mean, you're right in the middle of the fairway, 300 plus yards. Now the fun part is going to be hitting that second shot onto the green on this large par 5.
Yeah, it's elevated too.
Oh, so you're going to go up the hill?
We're going down and then back up. So
all right, let's see what we got up there.
Height on it. All right.
All right, so Marty, you found the fairway as we talked about. Now the fun part is you're kind of in a good forward distance, it sounds like. So you got that right here. Talk to me about the forward and kind of the advantages now that the G440 fairways have with this in the lineup.
I mean, the forward's built for literally this golf shot.
Yeah. It's
like elevated, kind of shallow green, par 5. You got to get the ball in the air. You got to stop it fast, maybe hit a little cut. We have so many of our from a better player standpoint, even though we don't have in our current 430 lineup a club that says 4 on it, we have a lot of golfers playing effectively a 4-wood.
Okay.
They're taking the 3, they're putting the big plus, or they're taking the 5 and then they're turning it down. We know both from better players and obviously the high handicap golfers are going to do great with a 4-wood, 7-wood combo. That's going to be the sweet spot, right? It's that 17 degrees of loft stock. Obviously we can tune it with the trajectory tuning sleeve. Is the sweet spot that launch the ball up in the air. And then we have some great options to kind of blend that into the rest of your bag. So whether you're a high handicapper and the 3-wood's just too hard to hit, like your number 1 goal, high handicapper, you're gonna have to hit the ball off your lowest lofted fairwood off the ground a lot, is the premium on getting that ball in the air. And then don't rule it out if you're a better player, because now, I mean, this is perfect for me, is why I got it in the bag right here. Yeah, and then I also wanted to touch on too, the addition of the 5-wood LST model too. So a couple of different new additions to the PING G440 fairway woods.
talked about the 4-wood. How about the 5-wood and the LST? What was the, I guess, the decision on adding that one?
I think everyone knows like the fairway wood's sort of the hardest club in the bag to fit, right? It's like you find that 3-wood, it's like, oh, the launch and spin combination, everything's just perfect. We wanted to have more options there from a spin fitting standpoint. A lot like, you can think about a lot like our driver. We have low spin heads and then we have the max head. So we have different spin combinations, spin and loft combinations. And we saw some demand on that, especially from our tour players, that, hey, we want a 5-wood that spins less, that has that smaller shape to it. They can hit out of the rough if they need to. You know, that's kind of the danger zone play on the PGA Tour, is being able to minimize your shots to hole out from 250 or so. So that's a great fitting option, the 5 LST. So we got a 3 and 5 LST. We're bringing the 4-wood into the Max family. Obviously we got the SFTs that turn over easy, even launch the ball in there, have even more loft. So we have more fitting options than ever. Another piece, Drew, I really want to touch on with the 440 family is the sole has more camber to it. Camber means kind of the front back curvature. So it's a lot easier to put the fairway wood on the ground and rock the face open or closed.
Interesting.
That's an advantage of saving all the weight from the CarbonFly Wrap, is that we can actually create a little bit more curvature in the heads this year.
Look at all these different refinements. You got more models, and also we talked about camber. We talked about the face being a little deeper as well.
Love that.
So some fantastic stuff in here. And so now, talk to me about this shot. We mentioned already it's kind of the perfect one for the 4-wood here. So what's the distance here, and what kind of are you trying to accomplish here? And then we'll see what you can do here.
Yeah, right here we got the pin tucked over to the right. So, I mean, if you're right here in tournament golf, I'm just trying to get something on the middle, left center of the green. I got about 255 to the hole, probably 265 to the back, 240 or so to the front edge. It is uphill, so I got to hit this. I got to hit this, but if anything, I might play a little cut. And if I miss, I kind of want to miss to the left, even though the bunker wouldn't be too bad if I go right at the pin.
Gotcha. Let's see what you can do here.
All right, let's do it.
Oh yeah.
Got pretty good.
Oh yeah.
Left center of the green.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, it's right up there.
And we caught a little piece. I mean, from 260.
Yeah.
Just trying to get that ball on the surface. And,
absolutely, and like you said, there's bunkers right, you know, the pin's kind of tucked on the right, so you're just trying to get it on the green and 2-putt for that birdie, right? So let's go see what we got for a putt.
Okay, I like to have plenty of height on it.
Absolutely.
Anytime you're over 35 feet, just trying to 2-putt this thing. Break at the end. Break at the end.
Oh, pretty good.
Ooh, I'll take that.
Really good putt.
Sneaky, sneaky amount of break down here.
Yeah. Tap her in for a birdie, huh?
Yeah, let's do it.
Here we go. Birdie.
I'll take it, Drew. I'll take it.
So, you mentioned height on that approach shot.
Yeah.
111 feet in the air.
Yep.
Your club speed 104, ball speed 156, spin rate 3790.
Yep.
And you carried 249. You talked about getting the front edge was about 240 or so.
Exactly.
You carried it right on top. Exactly what you were looking for.
Yeah.
So now you kind of this is sort of your first time out on the golf course, right, with G440. So what are your first impressions of it then?
The driver I loved. It was forgiving, which is why I played the max head. I want that extra stability. Very straight. I'm looking for something that eliminates the left side of the course. I got the CG shifter in the fade position. Boom, went right down the middle. Yeah. Which is very important on this type of golf hole. The tee shot's everything. You don't put that ball in the fairway. Right. You kind of lose your chance at birdie. For sure. But then once you do, you know, it's kind of this 250, 260 shot up the hill. You do not want to come up short. It's a tough up and down. So that's where being able to fly it 249. Yep. 111 peak height. I was able to land the ball on the green, stop it before it went over the green. Yeah. Give myself a chance at a 2-putt birdie.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, that's at the end of the day, that's what we want golfers to do, is get more opportunities like this to score. You hit G440 with both your shots, ended up with a birdie. So golfers, schedule a fitting for G440, whether it's driver, fairway woods, even also hybrids and irons as well. And dial your game in and ultimately shoot some better scores. So Marty, thank you for the time today. Thanks for having us out here at Quintero. It's been awesome.
Oh, it was sweet. And it was fun hitting the 4-wood.
Absolutely.
New to the 440 line, so.